Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen with Monarch Plans, and today I'm doing my plan with me for the week of March 1st through March 7th. I am going to be using a kit from Fern Stickers. It's, I believe, like the succulent kit or something like that. I just have a couple sheets that go with that kit. It's essentially just the essential sheet with all of the boxes and the washi, and then the extras kit with like the date headers and everything like that, and the scripts. So what I'm going to do is I will just get started. One thing I'm going to do a little bit differently this week is I actually had a question or like a request after my plan with me last week to show my weekly action items and like my weekly goals. And that is something that I actually haven't been doing, and I don't really know why, because in the MakseLife, really the weekly actions and the weekly plan really go hand in hand. So what I usually do is I will go through on like a Saturday or a Sunday night and I will plan out my weekly actions. But what I'm going to try and do going forward is kind of include a little section in my plan with me for each week that really goes through my weekly actions and kind of my full process for planning out my week. Because what I usually show you guys in my plan with me is a pretty abbreviated version. What you don't see usually is me reviewing the previous week and figuring out what I need to carry over and checking my schedule on my like work calendar and checking my like pre-planned. I have a little pocket planner where I put all of my appointments and stuff so I don't forget them. Anything that's like super far in the future, because I don't really like putting sticky notes in here. They tend to like fall off when I'm flipping around, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely have a process for my weekly plan, and I'm trying to include you guys on a little bit more of that. So hopefully that helps you guys get a little bit better insight into how I make my plans for the week and how I use my MakseLife to really lay out what I'm going to be doing to reach my goals a little bit better. So what I will do is I will get started here, and what I think I will do, like I usually do, is put thin washi at the top and the thicker washi at the bottom. So I believe that this is, yeah, this is 2 strips of thin washi. I was worried for a second that it was 1 strip of thicker washi, and that would have kind of messed up my plans a little bit, but I'm excited to use this kit because it matches the dates. You see they're like green, and so I'm really considering not even using the date headers in this plan with me, just because you don't necessarily need them because it matches. So kind of one of my least favorite parts of putting down kits is the date headers. They are just tedious to me sometimes, so I'm kind of glad that this all matches, so I might not have to do that. So let me put the other one on. I'm excited because this week is definitely a busy one. I have meetings, I have stuff outside of work, which was, I don't know, not normal for me. Tend to be a homebody, tend to not really have any plans, so it's kind of fun to have other things going on. They're nothing huge, and actually it's stuff that I can do from home, but it's just fun having other things to look forward to. And then, not to mention, I just love like the start of a new month because it just feels good. Like, I don't know if that's strange to say that, but it's just kind of like a new start and a new beginning. And I think my February was a great month for me, but I just have a feeling that March is going to be a better month. At least I hope so. I just love kind of that hopeful feeling at the beginning of every month. So let me get this all put in. I feel like this is kind of the tedious part where I just kind of babble on and on and on. But I'm excited. I'm also excited about some of the YouTube videos I have coming out. I'm definitely trying to be more consistent. I also joined a course that will help me, I think, like produce my content a little bit better and get me on a better schedule, which is kind of the biggest thing, because having not only a full-time job, but also Monarch Plans, like my Etsy shop, things kind of, my schedule gets kind of hectic sometimes. So I think I need to just be better at planning ahead, which is a huge goal. And I think that the course will help me with that for sure. So that is kind of one of my biggest things that I'm looking forward to with that. And let's see. So we have this full box that I'll put up here in the sidebar. I'm putting it down a little bit lower. Usually my full boxes are higher. Like you can see it kind of goes like up towards the top a little bit, but I'm trying this out a little bit to see if I like it. We will see. I don't really think it matters, but it's just a little bit different than normal. I'll do one of these little flags. I'm thinking maybe the darker green one, and then the this week sticker possibly. I don't know, maybe I won't like this, but I think I'm just gonna try something new. Kind of in that mood this week, I think. And then I'll do the this week sticker. And then that lets me put any to-do list items I have over here. What I'm going to do now before I go through and put in any of my appointments and everything for the week is let me go in and show you all last week. And so this is, again, like a little look into kind of how I go forward and plan my week. Is I'll take a look at the current week and I will see what has gotten done and what needs to move forward to the week ahead. So anything that doesn't get done like during the weekend, I will need to move to the following week. It looks like pretty much everything has gotten done this week, which was actually a miracle. I had some really productive days, which was great, but then I also had some time to relax, which was also really great. So that is very exciting. What I do need to do is there are a couple leftover things with like the save the dates. I just need to get them ordered and kind of finalize them. I did some more work on them but didn't finish them. I need to call Liberty Mutual, and if you watched my plan with me last week, I had a spiel about my gym membership and canceling and having to do the letters. Well, I am very happy to announce that I actually got that done. I had done kind of the research, got my contracts and looked at exactly what I needed to do to cancel. And it said I needed to write a letter. So that's what I was obviously trying to do. Wrote the letters, signed them, got all of the information compiled, and I went over to the gyms and they handed me a slip of paper and said, no, you need to call this number and tell them that you want to cancel. So I essentially did all of that for nothing. When I asked them previously, they just said I needed to pay attention to what was in the contract and cancel that way, which was putting letters together, and that is exactly what I did. And I guess they've changed it. I don't know. But anyways, I just wanted to update you guys on that because I now do not need to carry this over to the next week. Thank you all for holding me accountable to that. But I will just have to make a phone call on Monday to make sure that they know that I'm trying to cancel. So that is the only leftover item for my EOS letters that I have literally been trying to get done since, I don't know, December, January, I don't know. So awesome, super excited. Cannot wait for that to not ever be on my list again. So that is what I do, is I kind of look and I see what things didn't get checked off. Is there anything that maybe I thought of in the weekend that I wanted to get done but wasn't able to put on my list? Anything like that. So I think that I am good to go in terms of getting my next week put together, just making sure I add some of these things that didn't get done from my to-do list. So let's go back to the week that we're on. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to put the date headers on. It matches, it's great because it's like this dark green, it's gorgeous, but not worth the work in my opinion because the green matches, and I actually really like kind of the simple look without having so much stuff at the top. So I am just going to make do and not worry about it. And then we should be good. What I also might do, and this is definitely different as well, is I might put my workout sticker kind of sideways over here because I would possibly like to plan out my workouts down here, but then again, I also don't know if I want to do that. So maybe I'll leave that until the very end and see. And I think it would fit if I put it sideways, but I'm being very intentional in March with working out and staying active. And if I'm not actively working out like on the Peloton and doing like a strength workout or a bike workout, I at least want to move for half an hour and take a walk. I've definitely felt the impacts of just sitting all day. My back like sometimes hurts at the end of the day, and I really, really want to just start moving a little bit more. It's just so hard to make sure that you're getting enough activity in when you're working at home at your desk all day, every day. I don't really have to walk far to the kitchen. I don't have to walk far to the bathroom. It's just definitely something that needs to be changed in my life. So let's see here. I guess I will start putting in my appointment labels. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to write in my appointments on this sheet while all the stickers are on the actual sheet still, and then I'll stick them in. So hopefully it goes a little bit faster that way, and then I'll have some time to do the weekly action items. I'm just trying to make sure that this doesn't get too long, but I'm showing you my process and making sure that I'm putting everything in here that needs to be in here. So I guess I will just start. So I have a call at 11 a.m. and that's on Monday. On Tuesday, I have a call at 1 p.m. And then I think I'll use one of these smaller labels because I have a meeting, but it's definitely a lot shorter, and it's not a very, I don't want to say not important, but it's one of those that's just like short, to the point, not something I need to really dwell on that long. I have a call at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and this is going to be an interesting meeting because I heard that one of my coworkers is actually moving to a different job, like they're leaving their position and they got a job somewhere else. So we're really having to figure out on our team like who's going to take over some of his projects and everything. So this budget call is going to be really interesting because I think at that point we'll have more information on who's taking over what and all of that. So that's just something that is happening this week that definitely isn't normal for like our budget meetings. So that will be something we have to kind of figure out. There's another call Wednesday. And then finally, I have a call at 6 p.m. And that's just like abbreviations. I know some of this probably doesn't make sense. And then finally on Thursday is the last day of the week for me. I have a review meeting at 9:30, and that is just a review for work, nothing too big, doesn't really require a lot of action on my part. And then finally I have a meeting at 5 p.m. that day on Thursday that is for one of my courses. It's like the welcome meeting we have. So that is going to be really exciting. It's kind of fun because I get to end my week on Thursday and kind of welcome in the weekend with my course like welcome meeting. So I'm really, really excited for that. And so I just used up all of the appointment labels, and what I'm going to do is move over and use this kind of patterned one. My fiance has an appointment. I don't know what time it's at. Actually, I haven't looked, but I am going to put that in, and I'll just put the time, but I kind of wanted to make it stand out because it's a pretty important appointment. Other than that, I think I'll try and put these in and then see where I'm at, because I have a few other things I need to put in. And then, like I usually do with my weeks, is I will just have the little to-do lists and everything down here. So I have obviously the appointments and then some of the more important things going on, and then I'll have to-do lists underneath that. So I'm going to put in these labels. I'll be right back, and I'll probably add a few other things, and then we can move on to the goals and just kind of finishing up the week. Okay, so here we go. I put everything in here. I added another label because there's something going on. It is kind of like a personal family thing that's going on March 1st. So I'm not going to fill that out, but that's just there to kind of keep track and note that that's happening. So that is something I just added. And then I have these labels over here just because they're not necessarily appointments, but they're just things that are happening that I wanted to put in and obviously didn't have enough appointment labels. So the first one is Friday, March 5th is when I'm going to have my new releases for Monarch plans come out. Those are going to be kits for May. So May kits will be available on March 5th. I'll announce a time. It'll be sometime in the morning. So just keep that in mind, mark your calendars. I'll do some sneak peeks throughout the week on my Instagram stories. So if you're interested in seeing what those look like, I will put just like Monarch new releases, and that should be good there. Saturday is just my filming day, so I'm going to put a list of the videos I'm going to film here. I'll probably film like 3 or 4 of them, so I will write that out. I do have my content plan all set up, but I am going forward, just kind of keep my content planning to myself. So I probably won't be filling out my videos that I'm going to be filming anymore, but just that is what this box is for. On Saturday at 7 a.m., this happens every single week. There is this fun thing called Cars and Coffee that my fiance and I love to go to. He is like a car guy. He loves cars. He loves Mustangs. He loves all of that stuff. And it's a car show that is located in the parking lot of like a coffee shop in the city we live in. And so we love going. There's usually like a huge turnout of cars, and there's like old cars, new cars, beat up cars, and we just love walking around. We usually get coffee beforehand, and we'll go and we'll walk around and look at all the cars. I was definitely raised by like a car buff. My dad loved restoring old cars and everything like that. So that's one thing that we love bonding over, and I love seeing how excited my fiance gets about some of the cars there. It's definitely like his passion, and so I love going with him to see kind of like all the stuff that's there. We try to go as often as we possibly can, and that's kind of a new thing we've started doing, but it is super fun. It's also like a really good way to start out the morning on like our day off together. So it's, I don't know, such a good time. And then finally this last one, 12 p.m. is Andrew's bowling league. Other than that, I am going to just put in a few to-do list items on the sidebar. And so some of these are carryovers from last week. So call Liberty Mutual. And then call EOS, which, man, I'm so excited to get that off my list. Like, that was such a big thing that I just kept putting off. The beginning of the month, I need to go in and skip my Fabletics because I don't think I'm going to get anything from Fabletics this month. And then my book of the month, which I absolutely love, I need to go select my book. And then other than that, like I mentioned, I need to carry over. I think the only thing I'm carrying over that we talked about was the save the dates was kind of the biggest thing, and getting those like ordered. So I am going to put order final and then save the dates. I'm just going to do STDs, which is a very unfortunate abbreviation, but whatever. So I think that that's good. And then in terms of just to-do list items, what I'm going to do is just use my trusty beat up Erin Condren highlighter. I get some questions from people on Instagram what highlighter I use, and this is just one of the highlighters from her, I think the original highlighter pack that she sold on the website. And it like doesn't have any of the pattern anymore because it's all worn off, but I use this every single week. It's like the perfect light gray to make the little like checklist things. And so I try to just use this every week because it's so neutral. But someday I'll probably move on to a different highlighter or something like that. But we will see. So on Monday, I think I'm just gonna start, well, just gonna start down here. Just gives me like a little bit extra room. I am going to go to the post office and ship off some orders. I am doing the grocery pickup. I need to fold some laundry that didn't get folded this weekend. And I need to do some finishing up for some of design stuff for the new releases. Just double checking. I'm gonna do that every single night as I just try to break up little by little and just double check things every single day during the week leading up to launch. Obviously other shops probably do things differently, but that's just something, it gives me a lot of peace of mind leading up to launches. I don't like leaving too much time between having my eyes on something and releasing it. So I really enjoy just kind of refreshing my mind what I've come up with and all of that stuff for the designs. And then what I'm going to do is just put in little check boxes there. And again, like I said, I'm going to put in design. On every single day, and that's pretty much what I have for most days. For Tuesday and Wednesday, I don't really have anything else, but Thursday, since it is weekend day, take our garbage out, and I need to clean up the fridge. We usually do that on garbage day, so all the old food can get thrown out immediately. So that is pretty much what I have going on for the to-dos this week. And then obviously these get filled out a little bit more each day as I go through and I add more to-do list items. I'm super excited because I kind of teased this on Instagram, but my new Plum Paper Daily Planner came in and it starts on Monday. So I have a brand spanking new daily planner to start using on March 1st, and I'm super excited. Just like it's, you know, kind of that like new, fresh, hopeful feeling when it starts a new month, but it's like when you have a new planner on top of that, bliss, it's amazing. And then other than that, I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do down here at the bottom. I think since I got this, it has all of the forks and knives, so maybe I'll do like meals up here and then workouts down here. I think maybe I'll try that. It's a little bit different. I don't usually do that, but I think that this might be good. Especially since I'm being more intentional with like working out. And some people will ask like, well, why are you gonna write your workouts here? And then are you gonna write them in your wellness planner, or what's gonna happen with that? And what I'm going to do is I will plan what I want to do in here. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But in my wellness planner, I put in what I actually did. So that's kind of the difference here, is like, this is what I want to get done. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, that's also fine. But my wellness planner is like the actual things that happened. So then I can keep track of my activity and all of that stuff. Okay, what I also went in and did really quickly was I just put in the little forks and knife stickers. And so I'll put in the meals that we plan. I haven't planned out my meals for the upcoming week yet, but when I do, I'll put in what we have planned for each night, so it's all on one page and I can take a look when I need to during the day. In terms of habits, I haven't figured those out. Usually that's something I'll do like after I do my weekly actions, but I don't think I'll include that this week just because I know that this video is getting a little bit long, and I'll refine this process so it's not super long going forward. But for this first one, I really just wanted to include kind of a little bit more detail. So let's get into the weekly actions. What I like to do is, I'm sorry if that was loud, but I have the different colors here for the like action items on this page. And let me think, I think I'm missing one. Okay, here. I'm going to label these different sections. I know what they are now by kind of by heart, but I want to just label them so it's kind of clear when we're looking at them what each goal is. So this first one is personal, and let me tell you what I'll do is I'm going to just speed through this really quickly because this could definitely be tedious, and this video is already getting very long. So let me just speed through and then I will be right back. I think what I might do in the future is I'll just make labels, so it's a lot easier for me to just drop in labels and then it'll be just nice and quick. Okay, so you can see here I have everything labeled. I definitely shortened the titles just to kind of like cue my mind to what they are. So instead of health and wellness, it's just health. Instead of physical environment, it's home, all that kind of stuff. So one thing to note is I did change for my MakseLife. I changed the spiritual growth, like the personal and spiritual growth category, to be Monarch plans. So any spiritual and personal growth items are in my personal section. So I made that adjustment at the very beginning when I was setting my goals. So that's just something that is a little bit different for mine that might not be the same for yours, but I did adjust the MakseLife to really fit myself, and Monarch plans is a huge part of my life, so that deserves its own category for me. So first things first, personal. I have a goal this week to refine my AM and PM goals, or not goals, routines. So that is just kind of taking out some of the things that may or may not be helpful and really just solidifying the things that are. I have a pretty good routine going, but I definitely need to work on my morning routine. So that is kind of my focus in terms of personal stuff for this week. For fun and recreation, I've done a pretty good job at this over the past couple weeks, but I want to read 100 pages this week of whatever book I'm currently on. So that is what my fun goal is, to read. For work, like I mentioned, one of my coworkers is leaving, so we need to narrow down our new roles for when he does end up heading to his new job. And then I need to have this one analysis completed this week. Which shouldn't be too difficult. I've already kind of done it. I just need to review it. For family, and this is one of the items that I have on my to-do list, is I need to have my save the dates done and ordered. And that is a big one. And then I want to have a date night, or a date day, I guess, with Andrew. He's had some tough stuff going on at work, and so I really just want to take him out on his day off and just have a good time so he can forget about work and all the stress going on with that. So definitely want to have a date night with him. In terms of health, I want to close my rings. I think I mentioned, like at the beginning, that of the beginning of the plan with me, that I really want to focus on moving at least a little bit during the day. I'm going to start fasting, and at this point it's just going to be 16/8 fasting, which I know isn't super big, but what I'm trying to do is shift away from eating so close to bedtime. So I'll have my fasting schedule be a little bit earlier in the day. So that's kind of my normal eating schedule, is definitely the 16/8, but I definitely eat like later in the day, and I'm trying to get away from that. For Monarch, new releases obviously will be out this week. And then I need to market new releases, which obviously comes along with any new release that any shop does. I need to have my 3 YouTube videos up. And then finally, I am going to get all of my orders out by Thursday. I don't know if you can hear my dog walking around behind me. He like stomps his feet. He has a little feet, but he stomps them on the carpet and it makes a lot of noise. I need to call Liberty Mutual. So that is another one of my to-do list items. So that ends up being on the finance category. And then I'm trying to do a no spend for most of the week, other than things we have planned, like, you know, date day or date night. And then same with that no spend, I'm trying to eat at home. And that kind of goes not only with the finances, but with the health. And then finally, I'm trying to go through all of our clothes, and the clothes need to be taken out to our garage. And then we are going to go through our garage and get rid of things, hopefully this upcoming weekend. So that is what I have going on. And so you can tell that some of the things on here end up being to-do list items. Some of them get done, like new releases, they'll just get done and they'll get kind of figured out throughout the week. Like post office, that's to ship off some orders and everything. So that really speaks to like all orders out by Thursday. In terms of fun and recreation and like kind of these other things, they're not necessarily scheduled on my, like on my planner, on my week, but they're things that I have in my mind because they're on paper and I know that these need to happen every single day. And so, for example, the things that will end up being habits will be like the AM and PM routines. I might do one that's like read before bed or something like that. Close rings, fasting 16/8, like those things will end up being on my daily list here. And then at some point, I will schedule our date day or our date night when I figure out when my fiance's off work. And then some of the stuff for work is really just stuff that happens like throughout the course of some of these meetings. So that's kind of how I end up implementing my weekly actions into my week. If there's ever an action in here somewhere that like requires its own like dedicated work time, then I would definitely put that in. But just in terms of some of these don't really necessarily need their own work time. But I go back to this page constantly throughout the week as I'm doing my to-do list and everything like that, and I check to see that I'm actually making progress on these. So that's really what I try to do when I'm working on my weekly plan and I'm working on my weekly actions. But that's it. This video has gone on long enough. I'm sure you guys are tired of this. So I'm going to end it here. I hope that was helpful and I hope you enjoyed the plan with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. You can always reach me on Instagram if you are interested in reaching me on there through a direct message. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will talk to you later. Bye.